I remember one of the meetings, they were like, wow, we just booked the biggest job we've ever booked, like by far. Can we actually produce this? Oh yeah, we're good because we got the systems in place. We're ready to go.
You and I love to introduce rhythms and predictability and systems into business. Just introduce a simple system, because that's all we do, is just make sure you've got a solid plan and work the plan. But you're right, if I don't plan it in the beginning of the year that year's happening whether I plan around it or not. My name is Dominic Rubino. Welcome to the show. Today, we're going to talk all about how to make 2026 your best year ever. My guest today is Ryan Hindmarsh, who's one of the coaches on our team, and he's going to share real case studies of real clients in the trades and what they've done to be healthy, wealthy, and wise last year. And the reason we want to do that is to show you how you can apply those lessons to next year. So if you want to learn how to make 2026 your best year ever, you are going to love this episode. Let's get to it. Mr. Ryan Hindmarsh, how are you?
Good, Tom. How are you? Nice to see you.
Nice to see you again. I mean, we see each other all the time.
Mm-hmm.
We see each other all the time and not enough. How's that?
Yes, exactly.
I would say not enough. And people that don't know this don't know that you're a coach on our team here, but they will soon come to find that out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's where we'll see each other. We see each other in other coaches' meetings and talking about our amazing people that we help and just strategizing.
Strategizing. Right? Well, you know, today's topic is how to be healthy, wealthy, and wise in 2026. And some of the success stories you've been posting internally in our coach and coach support channel, I thought maybe the rest of the world needs to hear about this stuff as well.
Yeah, so many good stories. It's so nice when you're able to kind of lend a hand and see people kind of from outside of their business and what they're doing. And even helping them just kind of remember and rehash kind of what they've done in 2025. So this is kind of fun for me to think about all of this too.
Yeah. Walk through the changes with them and see them do it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, hey, listen, a lot of, no offense to you or me, but a lot of people don't know who you are yet. So let me ask this question, Ryan. Mm-hmm. Mr. Ryan Hindmarsh, who the heck are you? And how is it you come to be speaking to all these forward-facing contractors all over the world?
Well, I'm a coach, Dom, and a business owner. And for my last introduction, I've been a coach probably all my life, but most officially it started in university when I was doing my master's in kinesiology, and I started coaching NHL players and athletes as a strength training coach in their off season.
That's crazy. So hold on, you coached NHL players?
Yeah, it was so cool. It was these guys would come back in the summer and we would have a whole strength training program set up for them and then send them away to their season. So yeah, it was up to, we'd have, I think we had like 25 guys in the camp one time, and they're all coming back for the summer for their off-season conditioning.
Were they sleek and sassy and needed to drop some weight, or what was the general take on that?
It was interesting at that time. Training had kind of shifted from like just doing straight bench press and squats to like stuff that was unstable. So we even were throwing balls around and doing like all the pull-ups and the CrossFit-y things and the high rocks kind of things for those of you that work out. But we're doing some pretty creative things, which was pretty interesting. And it was really cool to see the results that these guys would get year after year, because we did it for 4 to 5 years as we kind of went and see the progress they made, which was really cool.
Yeah. Now, one of the things I've observed in working with you and having you on the team is you're really good at team building. What I know this isn't the topic of because today, by the way, folks, we're going to be talking about how to make 2026 your best year ever, which is why I asked you to come in and talk about some real case studies with other clients. But just, I can't let this go. I mean, you coached NHL players. You yourself were a high-level basketball player. I think you called yourself once the Dennis Rodman of your team.
Yes, exactly. I was the Dennis Rodman of my team. You knew who my name was, but if you didn't know at the beginning of the game, you knew it by the end.
But how did you develop your team building and your culture building skills and all that?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think I've always played team sports. So like right from when I was 4 years old to on, or whenever I could strap on a pair of shoes, I guess. And I had some really good coaches and mentors, I think, through that time as well. And I was on some pretty successful teams. We won some championships and some things as well. So it was really cool to see how those coaches or mentors put together a team and how they spoke with each of them and how they put you in your right place to use your strengths. And
Right.
really cool just to learn like from being a part of that. Right. I had a coach tell me one time, for the basketball fans, he's like, see this key here, like from the free throw line to the baseline to here. He's like, you do not shoot outside of that. That's you shoot internally. And at first I was kind of mad that I was like, I guess this guy knows what I'm good at and what I'm not.
So you specifically, because some other guys were your free throw guys, right?
Exactly, where they could shoot the threes or whatever, but I was not a 3-point shooter. And at that time, he was like, you're here. This year, 6'4", you stay inside of this painted area. I was like, all right. But it was interesting, right?
Yeah. I mean, you and I are both business coaches. Sometimes we have to say things or remind our clients of that same thing. Your zone of excellence is here, but it's not over here.
Yes. And that's like from a kind of coaching thing. It's like, it's putting people in the right, my business coaching thing, putting people in the right roles with the right responsibilities.
Yeah.
That's like a must, like bringing those people onto your team who can do what you need them to do. Not everybody can do everything.
Yeah. As I go through the clients that you work with here with us, I think almost all of them have added people. I mean, they've grown, revenues are up, profits are up. And so they're now, delegating a little bit better, and they've got more people to delegate to, but I can see how you're bringing that to others. Yeah.
Yeah. And in some cases, there's been some upgrades, right? From people, just from a skill level or an attitude level.
Yeah.
Above the line thinking level, right?
Above the line thinking. Well, you were with me on the foreman training.
Yes.
You've been with me in lots of different trainings here. But that foreman training is interesting. Actually, let me ask you, and some of the people listening have been in the foreman training. And today's not about foreman training. We're here to talk about how to be healthy, wealthy, and wise. But since I brought up the topic of foreman, how have you seen the foreman's role shift during foreman training when you've been on it with me?
Oh, I think from attitude to how do we have meetings to how do we communicate with each other. Like, I think that's one of the biggest things I noticed a shift in, like, right away, is you can actually go in, call it in 2026, you can adjust the way you communicate as a team. And that's a big game changer for most people. Even having a meeting,
right,
is a big game changer. But to have a culture where attitude, above the line kind of thinking is the dominant way we think can be a game changer. Yeah. And that's what happened in foreman training, right?
And do you know why I'm laughing? Because some people are listening to what's above the line training. We'll get to it later. It's actually, but isn't it funny how that's a fundamental part of excellence in a company is actually where you started, being intentional about building your team. And I think that's how you started. You said I was with some great coaches who moved people here, did this, and that's rubbed off on you.
Yeah.
Hey, quickly before we get into this, or maybe weave it into your stories, you have a trades business as well. What's that?
Yes, I have an appliance installation business where we do kitchen and laundry appliances, and we specialize in kind of more high-end appliances and panel ready appliances for those cabinet makers who are here. I always say we're pretty good at scratching cabinets. So
don't say that. Everybody's going to be so mad at you right now. I was thinking about you this weekend because our washing machine needed to be reset. And it's a stacker. And so I had to pull it out of that. It was built into an alcove in the wall. The best analogy I can come to is, have you ever tried to take a peanut out of its shell? Yeah. How about a Brazil nut? Like, it just barely
fits.
And I'm like, I got to call Hindmarsh because I can't get this thing out. I moved it an inch this way and a quarter inch that way. And
we've got some pretty special tools, which is fun. We have this little hovercraft that kind of like, we had a 900-pound like stove the other day. We're just hovering from the living room.
I needed that there, but I didn't. Cool. I just muscled it out like a horse. Anyway, hey, I want you to tell me, because we have a big training webinar coming up.
Yeah,
you and I like to introduce the rhythms of business to our clients, to the audience in general. It doesn't have to be a client, right? So one of those rhythms as we come to the end of the year is how to be healthy, wealthy, and wise in 2026. For anybody listening, if you want to be on that, you have to get on the wait list first. And I will be very upfront. You have to get on the wait list because not everybody actually gets invited. And there's no secret surprise. You got to be a business owner. You got to be running a successful business first. I don't want a bunch of people out there who just happen to be listening to a show on a podcast to come in here. It's kind of a closed group, private just for forward-facing contractors. Did I ever tell you the story about the shepherd and the sheepdog? Let me tell you something. A shepherd can't watch every sheep at the same time. That's why he's got sheepdogs, right? To keep the flock moving in the right direction, get them from one end of the farm to the other safely and on time. So in your shop, I want you to think of your foreman as the sheepdog. If he's not trained, healthy, and taken care of, the whole crew scatters and jobs fall apart. That's why I run Foreman 101 training. It is specifically designed to show foremen how to lead the crew, not just swing a hammer. We're running a free 1-hour info call where owners and foremen have to attend together. Get on the wait list for the next free info session. Just text me at 315-903-7853 and say foreman training, and we'll get you on the list. That being said, let's jump into your stories of helping people be healthy, wealthy, and wise in their businesses. And anybody that wants to join us on this, send us a text message. I'll find a way to drop my number here later and just say healthy, wealthy, wise when you text me. But Ryan, tell me some stories, some client stories. Regale us in this Christmas season, this New Year's season, of your healthy, wealthy, wise success stories with clients.
We'll start healthy, because that was the first word we say in there. But and we go from the whole fitness training to kind of like appliance installation business. I had a few clients this year kind of really struggling with everything, call it. And that happens, right? We deal with that. It's business, it's this, it's that. And I'm like, kind of ask those questions like, what are you doing for yourself? Like, what are those things that you're doing to be healthy so that you can show up for others in your business, recharged, renewed, stronger, whatever it is. And we kind of went back to like revenue responsibility per hour, which that's in another podcast, I'm sure. Which is basically what your value is that you bring to the business as a business owner. Mm-hmm. And so what we found, I had a couple guys who were able to delegate some responsibilities that were below their pay grade, call it. Like say as easy as hiring a bookkeeper, which you can get for a certain amount. And then they took that time and they either went for a walk, or they took that time and they actually worked out in the morning because they had some time because they weren't worried about doing the bookkeeping. So they prioritized their health over their business so that they can get into their business and be a lot more functional when they got there.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think you and I have probably seen people that haven't prioritized health, and it shows up in the worst of ways.
The worst ways. Yeah.
You know, we have a gentleman, I'm just going to say he's in the South, who had a heart condition because it's just the stress of working all the time. And, you know, it's not that dry desert heat that got to him. It's the stress of the trades. There's stuff coming at these owners all the time, and you and I see it all the time. So to help them sort of compartmentalize that, move it off, and remember, you got to be healthy here. You're the engine that drives this business.
Yeah. Well, I think on that side too, it's like, I always think about 2026. I plan my vacations first. I just put that in the calendar. That's non-negotiable. Here it is. This is when I'm doing it. And I've always encouraged people to do that from a coaching perspective, because then you work around it and then it has a better chance of it happening rather than like 40 weeks into the year going, oh man, I haven't had a vacation yet. I really need one. They shouldn't be used for recovery. They should be used for enjoying your vacation. So I had 2 other clients this year who had, as we were doing the strategic plan, one of their goals was to book a family vacation. And one of them was to book a hunting vacation.
Even nicer. I know who that is. You know who that is? Yeah, we were swapping pictures back and forth. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. But there had to be things in place. Like they were gone. The one gentleman, he was gone from his business for a week. He hadn't been gone for a week from his business for like the last 5 years.
Yeah. And you showed him how to put the systems in place.
Exactly. We had to set it up so that other people had some more responsibility. Things wouldn't fall apart while he was gone. And yeah, he was able to go on a nice, healthy vacation with his family. And enjoyed, and then get back to work when he got home. And nothing blew up, so it was good.
Yeah, and also hunting.
Yeah, that was a 3-week vacation, that one.
Again, and now I want to share all these pictures, but they're not mine to share. But
yeah, that was a pretty cool story.
I'll be going hunting this year again. I'll be going for spring bear, and then not sure if I'm going to go for moose or mule deer in the fall. It kind of depends a little bit on some other travel I have planned, which is always good. But you're right. If I don't plan it in the beginning of the year that year's happening, whether I plan around it or not.
Yeah, Exactly. Exactly.
You just move heaven and earth to make your priorities come to life. Not to keep talking about me, but I just went on a fishing trip and I asked my friends to change the date so I could be home for my daughter's birthday. Now I flew all through the night, bleary eyed, showed up, but I was home for my daughter's birthday, which is the priority.
So good.
That's a good point. So I guess my takeaway from you is if I don't make the healthy part of healthy, wealthy, wise a priority, it ain't going to happen.
It's kind of, we forget about ourselves first, which is the most interesting thing because we're with ourselves the most. We prioritize other people, right? And I think that like from healthy to wealthy, I had some amazing stories this year of like 30% growth from a revenue standpoint. I had one shop as well. I remember one of the meetings, they were like, wow, we just booked the biggest job we've ever booked, like by far. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. How much is it? It was good. We had it all dialed in. Super excited. Can we actually produce this? Oh yeah, we're good because we got the systems in place. We're ready to go. 2 weeks later, we just booked the biggest job ever. I'm like, yeah, we talked about it last week. No,
a new one.
A new biggest job ever.
Yeah.
Setting records. And these things are like a significant portion of their business. But they were comfortable. I could see that they were really comfortable with it. Because I've booked big installs and I'm like, I don't know if we can do this. Like, I think we're going to fall apart. Like, I think we're going to not be able to like provide for our clients. Where these guys are like, no, we're good to go. We've got our SOPs and our procedures dialed in our shop. Or we got a new install guy that they had hired like 2 months before in preparation for potentially this stuff. Good little procedures from an install standpoint. So they're like, we got this. We're ready to go. They've got 4 months worth of business all dialed, ready to roll in the new year, which is...
And they told you we just booked our biggest job and you thought they were repeating themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd love to see how those end of job, the EOJs come back.
Yes.
And that's where people get dialed in. It's I think really if I had to summarize this whole thing, it would just be too long a title, but it's intentionality. It's just being intentional. Right?
Yeah.
Like we want to go after that kind of client. I want to take a vacation with my wife to do this. And you say it in advance. You don't wait for the year to go by and say, well, it's November. We should, not going to be this year.
See if we can fit it in, right?
See if we can fit it in. Yeah. Now, you mentioned 30% growth. Let me just say what somebody else out there listening or watching is saying. That sounds like a load of hooey. 30% growth. You don't know where I live. You don't know my market. We could never get 30% growth. In just a very summary statements, what did they do to get 30% growth?
Yeah, they put a plan into place from a marketing and sales perspective.
Crazy.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Like, here are the 20 builders I want to work with, and I'm going to put a plan in place for the next 3 months to call them or to email them or just to see if they need cabinets.
That simple?
Simple as that. And through the process, it doesn't come like this. Like, it's not the first person you call. It's like, oh, thanks for calling.
It's not magic. Yeah, no. That's true.
But it's creating relationships that are going to last potentially. Like, they'll try a job, and maybe the next job comes, and the sooner we get new customers in the door, then the easier it is to kind of just have another referral source, right?
Yeah. It's funny. People, who wants to overcomplicate the marketing for trades businesses? You'd be surprised, but you've probably seen the same thing as me. The people who want to overcomplicate the marketing for trades businesses is the guys selling advertising. It's not hard.
No, it's
not. It's the simplest things, but applied with diligence, which you and I love to introduce rhythms and predictability and systems into business. So as long as you're comfortable, and I know I've seen you do this with clients time and again, just introduce a simple system, and then we just rinse and repeat, and rinse and repeat, and rinse and repeat, and rinse and repeat. Do I sound repetitive? Because that's all we do, is just make sure you've got a solid plan and work the plan.
And it's always nice, I think, too, having another set of eyes on the outside going, like, there's sales, there's marketing, there's sales, there's production, there's office, there's like, I'm getting confused. I can't even say them all. And then there's the install side, and then there's like follow-up and the invoicing, and oh man, now we got to think about our money and all these different pieces. And it's like, as business owners, we need to be thinking about them, all of them.
Yeah.
But we can't think about all of them at the same time. Otherwise, they're never going to all happen. So it's like putting time in your schedule to go, okay, I'm going to do my financial reporting on Fridays too. I'm going to do my reach outs next week. I'm going to reach out to 3 builders this week. How about that? I know I have an hour to be able to do that. And just having systems for when each of these things happen. Because when we get really busy in one of them, what do? We forget it all.
Yeah.
On the other side, this maybe goes to the wise part. The wise business owner has systems where they look at all the components of their business and they set themselves up for that, versus going, oh man, I'm just like worried about install for the next 3 months. Well, you forgot about sales, and that'll eventually dry up. It just happens, right?
You just put on your CEO whisperer hat there, because I heard you talk about time management for contractors. But you didn't use the word time management. We just talked about predictability, putting it on the calendar. And you and I make sure it happens. That's what we do. We show up every couple of weeks and we're like, hey, did you get it done? No, I got stuck. Okay, well, let's get it unstuck. And then we show up again in a couple of weeks. It's very, business coaching itself, when we talk about healthy, wealthy, and wise, again, it's intentional, but it's not overbearing. It's just being there as, we'll use your basketball analogy. There's lines painted on the floor. What did your coach say? Just stay in your, stay in the key. Stay in the key, man. Don't leave the key.
Yeah. It was so good. I showed him. I learned how to shoot a 3 in college. I backed up. Let's go to wise. So the healthy, wealthy, wise. We always talk about this. It's like leaders are readers, in my opinion. Like people people can read. There's so much information out there that we can gather from books that people have done that, been there. And it's just fascinating when we love to recommend books to people of like, oh, this is what's going on. Oh, you should try this. This is what's going on. Try this. Or listen to a book or listen to a podcast. How many times I've heard, oh, did you hear Dom's podcast? And I'm like, not yet, but I will. I'll listen to it.
Yeah.
Just gathering more knowledge around things. As business coaches, we'll bring out different like systems, ideas, tools from a business standpoint. I found that some of my clients are like, I want to learn more about that so that I understand that. And then they can come back to me with like different ideas or different kind of things. But we bring things, some wise things up. Are we wise, Dom? Some of our wisdom from running multiple businesses through our life, from coaching multiple businesses through our life. We've got some wisdom, but the people who kind of take that next step start to learn a bit themselves too. Outside, right?
Yeah. Well, listen, and you and I have seen this time and again. The people who get into the trades business typically are really good in the trades, but they never went and got their MBA. I don't think they even need, I'm not taking away from education, but you don't need your MBA to be successful in business. But at some point, you and me and everybody in this world that's in business is going to pay for the MBA. You either pay for it with blood, sweat, and tears and lost profits in your business, or you go to school, get your MBA, and do the same thing anyway.
Do the same thing, exactly.
Do the same thing anyway, because everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face. And I think that was Tyson, right?
Yeah.
Mike Tyson, not Tyson Chicken. I know you used to coach them as well. Fun fact. You've coached a lot of big companies. But we've got to get that mentality out there that success has to be intentional. So do you mind if I just remind everybody how to, I don't think I said the cell phone. Did I?
No, I don't think
so. The event is called Make 2026 Your Best Year Ever. There's a workbook that goes along with it. Okay. The workbook is called the Healthy, Wealthy, Wise Planner. And that people are going to need that in advance. So if you want the planner and to get on the wait list, send me a text message and just say Healthy, Wealthy, Wise. My cell phone number is 315-903-7853. Ryan, remind me to repeat it one more time in case people are driving, but it's pretty basic. You have to decide to show up and then show up. It's the same thing for all of us anywhere. Decide and do.
Yeah.
Right?
Nice.
Hey, there's a story about 3 bricklayers. And now you might have heard this at church in a sermon, but let me take a shot at it. There's 3 bricklayers. Old story, right? At the end of the day, working hard, they go home for dinner. And out of pure coincidence, each of their kids asks them at the kitchen table, Daddy, what do you do? Well, the first dad said, I'm laying bricks. The second dad said, I'm building a wall. The third dad gets asked the question. He smiles to his kids and he says, kids, at work, I'm building a cathedral. You see, they're all doing the same work, but they have 3 different visions. That is a nice little picture of leadership. Right now, your foreman might just be laying bricks. focused only on tasks. Look, Foreman 101 helps them see the bigger picture and lead your crew to it. I'll explain everything on our free information call. Remember, the owner and the foreman have to attend that call together. The first step is to get on the wait list for the next free info session. Just text me. You know my cell phone number. It's 315-903-7853 and say foreman training. Hey, I think you forgot something under wise.
Did I forget something otherwise?
Yeah, I asked you to do
my IQ. You want my IQ? No.
What's that? Sorry.
Do you want my IQ? I think I had an IQ test.
I don't know if I have an IQ. Maybe that's why. But I had asked you to do our whole organization a favor. What did you learn from? Maybe tell us what that was.
Yeah.
And what did you learn from that?
Yeah. Thanks for reminding me. As a coach, I was always like looking to be better, and so I took some professional education, professional development stuff this year. And as I was kind of talk to Dom about it, I wanted to share it. We were able to share it with our group of coaches. And so what we do internally is I run a program where I teach the other or help the other coaches like improve their skills as coaches. There's about a bunch of tools that we need as coaches to help you all business owners solve problems and move forward and plan the right way and hire the right way. And so, yeah, it's been really fun to be able to kind of share some knowledge with the team of wonderful coaches we have. Holy smokes, there's so many great people, so many wise people in that room with really cool experience. And it's been nice to be able to share some of that coaching wisdom with them.
Yeah. What I appreciate is the way that the models, the coaching models that you shared. It sounds like we're just asking questions, but we know where we're going when we're asking the question, even though at the beginning you might not think we know. But there's names for the models, and there's variations on the models, and there's a time to use this one, and there's a time to use that one. Just the same as somebody who's really good on the tools knows when you use a caliper versus when you use a tape measure versus a laser level. There's a different nuances that require a different tool.
That's right.
And I think all of us on the team, and we're up to 5 coaches now?
Yes.
All business owners, all running their own company like you.
Yeah, it's great.
And it's been good to have you there leading us on that training.
Yeah, good. Thanks. It's great to be able to share. I wanted to add one more wise thing before I wanted to ask you a question. Networking, like being around people who are in similar businesses or do the exact same things that we do. I've had some really cool examples of cabinet shops reaching out to other cabinet shops in their area to kind of learn kind of what they're doing. Like they're in competition, but they're not. Reaching out to designers, networking with plumbers, electricians, all these sort of things. And they found that, that's like a really cool way to get some wisdom of people who are running the exact same businesses as they are, or a complementary business that potentially, I've had one client got 3 builder referrals because they reached out to another business who was similar to theirs, let's call it like if they were electricians, they reached out to plumbers, and boom, all of a sudden they're like, oh, you know what? This guy needs a new electrician because this guy walked off the job. We're good. So that kind of network of like people within your industry or whatever, It's so great to kind of connect with those people. And that's a wise thing to do.
Well, it's funny. You talk about being healthy, wealthy, and wise. That's a world of abundance. And a lot of guys say, well, why would I go network with other cabinet makers? They're just going to take my ideas on how to cut wood and put it back together. No offense, but those same tools are available at every tool seller around there.
Yeah.
What's so secret? What's your secret sauce? Your secret sauce is actually the rhythms of business, how you run this as a business, not putting together squares and rectangles. And I'm sure I've offended some people, but to be honest, those people were never going to listen to more than one episode anyway. The true business builders are here because they want to be challenged, and there you go. They want to be healthier, wealthier, and wiser. Those make sense. Healthier, wealthier, and wiser in 2026. But you can only do that by just getting out of your own way.
So true. So true. Okay, Dom, we're near the holiday season here. So you're doing something. You're giving away water.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Okay, sure. I mean, if you want to switch things around. So, I mean, you've been around for a long time in our group. Last year I did The Greatest Salesman in the World. I read out, chapter by chapter, and then the big reveal at the end is actually pretty cool. It's one of the most beautiful books out there.
Cool.
And so I was casting around in my mind, what do we do to give back? And I thought, well, we're always talking about money and profitability, and we talk about time with family and stuff, but I wanted to do something bigger. So we're going to be donating to a needy community in Nicaragua. And these people live at an open pit dump. And the city they live in is it's not an affluent city. So they're sifting through the dump in a city that's already not very affluent, and that's where they're making their money, but they don't have clean water. They don't have a lot of things. And they're still so incredibly happy. But I have the opportunity to put together a water program. Okay. So what we're going to do is all of us are going to take part. It's not just Dom reading a funny poem or rewriting the Grinch or something like that. By the way, I rewrote the Grinch before ChatGPT. This was 2 or 3 years ago, right?
Yeah.
But what we're going to do now is every time somebody out there likes or comments on an episode, that's going to donate 3 gallons of water, of drinkable water, to this community.
Cool.
So as an example, every month we get about 60 likes and comments.
Okay.
Well,
nice.
Let's make it 600.
Yeah. That will donate gallons and gallons and gallons of clean water. I mean, we're just trying to help. So that's all listeners have to do is click like.
Yeah. This episode or any other episode. Yeah, just leave a like or a comment. And the reason I did that is, and you know this, is the metrics. You and I put metrics in place. You have to be able to measure something to know, what's the saying? You can't manage what you can't measure.
Exactly.
Right? Exactly. So goodwill and people saying, yeah, I've heard the show and yeah, I put your ideas in. That's all great.
Yeah.
But we can't measure that. So we can do 2 things at once here. We can measure the impact of the show, and then we can take that, all of us, and pay it forward to doing something good for other people.
Nice. Are you, why this project? Like, why Nicaragua? Like, what drew you to this?
Well, I was looking around for something construction related. And there is aspects of this that we could all go down there and build a house together, build a home, right? But how many people would actually be able to leave, go down to Nicaragua, and it felt limiting, the build a house thing, but this is associated with that whole project. And so while I was looking around for a worthwhile one, first I had to know who was running it, and I happen to know who's running this organization, and I trust them. Nice. So that's big, because if you're donating to a charity, you got to make sure it makes it to the people.
Exactly.
Right? So that was a big one. And then it has to be something meaningful. So I wanted this to be meaningful as well. And I thought giving clean water, I was doing the math. You and I, if we run the water while we're brushing our teeth in the morning, that's 3 gallons.
Oh, wow.
10 liters, I think, if you measure liters, that's a lot. So if you can offset that by just doing something to help others, then why not? And I think that's a better Christmas gift than anything we've ever given. I by the way, speaking of numbers, I still have to figure out from our numbers what my goal is for the end of the year. But this time next year, I expect there to be thousands of gallons.
Oh, from that was going to be my question. Yeah. What's your goal?
Yeah, you're right. I should. Well, so far we know that we have been for the last couple months we've been able to get 60 likes or comments without trying. We never talked about this. It's whatever, right? I'm almost at 500 episodes between the 2 shows.
Wow.
So let's see what we can do as a community.
Yeah.
First, let's try for 600 a month. We're at 60 now. I don't know. Let's just get to 600.
I guess we could get families involved or in that as well too. I was telling a story. I think I've done this many times. I'm like, don't give, like, to my family, don't give us each other gifts. Like, we're old enough now. Like, we're over 50. Like just let's donate to something. So this would be a really cool thing to be able to share with the family.
That's actually, so the visual now comes to mind, right? You've got let's say a dad running a cabinet shop. He's got his kids or maybe grandkids on his knee, and he's like, "Hey, do you want to donate to some kids in Nicaragua so they have clean drinking water?" And you just go and plonk with your finger, like or comment. I'm trying to find a way to reduce friction, right? My goal is I want to make it easy for everybody to succeed or pay it forward. And Ryan, you've heard me say this before. My measure of success in this world is I want to throw as much value at the world as I can, hard enough and fast enough that the overspray makes me personally happy. I just want the overspray. So how can I help that community? right? How can we help others by doing something simple? And people come to our show and they listen to you because they want to be educated, informed, and inspired. So let's move that to others as well.
I love it. I think that's that whole piece. We said this, I think the other day together when we were talking, it's like, we get so excited by the success of others. That's why we're doing this thing. It's like, this is like, my ROI is like when someone else gets an ROI, like my return of coaching is when someone says to me, hey, guess what? We got my EOJ works, end of job report for those who don't know. And my gross profit is actually what my goal was. Boom. And that's fills our heart, right?
Right. It does. Like when you get somebody who says my sales have gone up 30%, but they weren't aiming at 30%. They just like, look, we're busy. We're just not profitable. You're like, oh, okay, well, you don't have to sell more. You have to be profitable where you are. Oh, and by the way, now sales are up because they have less, but bigger jobs.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's so good. Oh, I like that. 3 gallons. What is that? Like, give me an idea of where.
3 milk jugs.
Okay, 3 milk jugs. Yeah. So
but that's every single time somebody hits like or leaves a comment.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't think a comment, I mean, it's not going to be hard. You leave comments on dumber videos and dumber episodes than this, but I'm trying to make it easy, but I'm trying to be impactful, and it needs to be measurable, because what I expect is that at the end of the year, if let's say we hit 600 a month, well, we can all do the math. 600 a month times 12 months. We're going to be having a massive impact on that community. And that's, hey, listen, I'll be happy if we get one, but I don't think they will.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Cool.
It's not going to do us much good if we get from 60 likes and comments a month to 61. We'll still run it. It's just that I have to be better at running this organization so we can have a bigger impact on others.
Nice. So good. Be good to hear as the success of this kind of flows and as the water flows to Nicaragua. It's awesome.
Hey, listen, I still want to go build the house down there in Nicaragua.
Yeah.
Because I want to build a house for others. And somebody told me the fishing's pretty good down there too. So why not? But I think we have to walk before we run. And the water project is a great example for that. So if anybody has questions on that, just text me the word water. I'm happy to get on a call and explain what we're doing. And then, as you and I were talking about, the very first thing is for everybody looking after what they need to look after. If you want to be healthy, wealthy, and wise in 2026, join us on the webinar. There's no charge for the webinar, but it's not open to everybody, if that makes sense. It has to be with serious business owners. It's not going to work. And I'm okay saying it that blunt. It has to be with serious business owners, and they have to be forward-facing business owners. Very simple test. We know who they are, but you got to get on the waiting list first, and you also get the workbook. So just text me the word healthy, wealthy, wise. Same phone number for both things. Just send me a message at 315-903-7853.
Amazing.
Yeah. Listen, man, you've been amazing. You've had a crazy year. The successes, I'm looking over here at, believe it or not, I still have a whiteboard. I've got lots of computer screens, but I still have a whiteboard. I'm looking at all your clients here on the whiteboard, and I know some of the successes you've had with them, and it's incredible. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool to celebrate with them, especially now, kind of as we're talking about like healthy, wealthy, wise from like 2025. And I always encourage people to do that. Write down what you did well this year. Like what went well. Like enjoy your successes and affirm that you've done them and then build on them through the webinar. Healthy, wealthy, wise. How do I get more of that or some of that in 2026? Best year ever.
Make it the best year ever. Well, Ryan, thank you. I like the way you turned that around, Mr. Business Coach guy. I thought I was interviewing you, and you flipped it around to interview me.
That's what we do best. Ask questions. Right?
Ask questions and listen very, very carefully.
That's
yeah.
Right.
If not to put you on the spot, but if you had to give everybody an inspiring message to look forward to next year, what would your
I was just thinking, I used to do this before. My wife and I would choose a word for the year. And so our word for the year is thriving. And so that's like, that encompasses kind of us, that encompasses our health, that encompasses our clients, like the whole thing. My wife's a teacher. And so I think the message for me going forward is that we're just not surviving in this life. We are thriving in this life.
I like that. So you guys boil it down to one word.
Yeah, because then it's easy. Well, it's not easy to get to the word.
No, but it's focused.
There. Yeah, it's like this is the word. This is the word for the year. So that's why I wish for everyone listening to this is when you think of the word thriving, it's like that's just brings a smile on your face, right?
Yeah,
I'm smiling. Know something's happening, right?
I'm smiling. Yeah.
Yeah. So I hope that everyone has a thriving 2026.
Excellent. Well, Ryan, thank you very much for being on the show and sharing your insights for this year. Folks, you heard us say it already. If you want to get on the best year ever webinar, so you can be trained on how to build your own system for the future, just send me a text. And if you want to know more about the water project, send me a text as well. Ryan, we'll have you back again.
Thank you, Tom. Great to see you.
Talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon.
Well, we covered off a lot in that episode. And look, just to remind you, if you want to take part in the webinar, you got to get on the wait list first. Once you're on the wait list, you get the workbook and you also find out about the dates and times. So go ahead and send me a text message. You heard me say my number already, but for those of you who didn't have a pen and paper handy, my number is 315-903-7853. And then just say healthy, wealthy, and wise, and I'll know you want to be on that wait list. If you want to know more about the water project, which I think is pretty cool, and it's a great way for us all to give back, then go ahead and just send me the keyword water, and we'll get on a call and talk about that. Now, this show and all of my shows are just a really flimsy excuse until the day you and I can have a cup of coffee or a glass of wine, sitting across from each other at a table, just chatting like real people, really about the business. And until then, I really appreciate the time you put in and have put in all year. One day you and I are going to get a chance to meet. If you're at conferences, if you're at trade shows, I'm always at those speaking. So I'm sure we'll be able to see each other there. If not, have a great day, and we'll see you on the next episode. And have a great Christmas and New Year's. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.